seen a few of these. Do we have any ambassadors? Okay, what this chart does not tell you about is a position in our company. There's a position in our company that is not on this chart. This position came into place about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it's a position that you earn based on what your income is over a certain amount of time. And it is called a black diamond. So, a black diamond has to earn a 6-figure monthly income for 6 consecutive months in a row to earn that title. And I am extremely excited to announce to you today It Works' newest black diamond, one of my very best friends, one of the hardest workers I've ever known, and she's a millionaire, I can say that, multi-millionaire. She joined this business with us 8 years ago, eight and a half years ago. And when I hear that word, It Works Fight, I have images of this woman's face in my head because of the battle that her and her husband have fought over the last 8 years to set their family free and to bring other families along with them in the process. And I'm really excited because it's the first time she's talked publicly outside of a private leadership training as a black diamond, so I don't want to disappoint her in any other way. So can you help me welcome our newest black diamond, Denise Walsh.
Yeah, I've heard Dr. Don for 8.5 years. Do you know how much skin I have? But you know what? Our first meeting with Dr. Don was when I first signed up as a loyal customer. I was sitting in a room with round tables with maybe 10 to 15 people at the entire event. Dr. Don came to speak. I was Cammie's guest, and I signed that night as a loyal customer because I've always believed in preventative nutrition. I've run a few marathons, I've worked out, I believe in putting good food in your body. It was my husband who saw the vision, and we actually upgraded to become distributors 2 weeks later. Previous to It Works, I was a clinical psychologist. I went to Grand Valley and then to Wheaton, right outside Chicago, and then came back to Grand Rapids and got my first job in Hastings, a little community south. Worked at Community Mental Health for about 5 years as a therapist, where I led groups, I did individual therapy, counseling, I led anger management with all these big burly guys, and I was like, teach you not to be so angry. And as you can tell, it doesn't take long in the helping professions to feel tired, bored, and burnout. Anybody teacher in here? Or daycare, or social work, or anything where you're working in government facilities and you got a heart for people. But it ends up being more about policy, paperwork, and procedure than it really was about people. So at 26 years old, I was experiencing what they call a quarter-life crisis. Like you get out of school, right? And you are ready to change the world. And then you get a job. And all these big dreams that I had about working with adolescents and teenagers and helping, and I worked with foster kids in the past, and I had this big, huge heart, started to shrink. And I realized that this community mental health job might not be the place to achieve all of these dreams that I had for myself. Well, I started to kind of feel like, well, I guess this is just it. This is my lot in life, this is my piece of the pie, I guess I'll just be comfortable here. And I let those dreams start to shrink. Well, my husband, who was an aerospace engineer, which sounds cool, but he just really worked in a cubicle. He was at Smith's, which turned to GE, which turned to whatever, and he was bored. He was bored, and so when he saw this hot sizzle product that nobody had heard of yet, consumable, well-priced, with no other competition out on the market, we signed up. We'd never done anything like this before, so we had to learn. We had to practice. We didn't have smartphones or Facebook. I was telling someone earlier we used MapQuest to get to parties. And then we would forget to MapQuest it home. And we'd get out of the party and it's dark out and you're like, I don't know where to go. So, we had to keep trying new things. We had to get the rap on people. We did expos. We did MySpace, kind of. We did a lot of things that we had to do over the course of 8 years. But within 2.5 years, we both were able to quit our full-time jobs. And we're now making more in 1 month than we used to make combined in a year. And it's still not a household name. Like, we're still ground floor. We just know what we're doing now. And so we've got a clear roadmap, the steps to success, and all of our amazing products, so everybody here can have just as an amazing opportunity. So there's 2 aha moments that I want to share with you that I had throughout my journey that I think really took us to that next level. The first one was understanding that this industry was good. This is a good industry. I'd never heard of network marketing, and I thought that JOB and 6 years of school and college loans was like the way to go, right? That's living the dream. Well, as you know, you quickly realize that's not quite true. And this was a vehicle that anyone can do. Just work hard, stay focused, etc. And you all have the same opportunity that we had 8 years ago. So number 1 was realizing that this business model was good, and it was providing a lot of people with a lot of not only health benefits, but wealth benefits as well. The second thing is when I learned that I could do it. For me, that was a big aha moment because I didn't know. I wasn't a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I don't know people. Like I know my friends, but I didn't walk up to strangers and meet people, and all the time. I didn't know how I was going to do this, but what I found was that I just kept learning, and all of a sudden I realized, oh, I do know that answer. Or I'd call someone, I'd be less nervous than the time before. I remember looking at Cammie and being like, can I be ever that loud? I don't know. I don't know that I can be as loud as Cammie. I don't know that I can be as professional as Debbie, and Shelly came in with all this experience. Can I really do that, Tiffany, too? And I remember thinking, can I really be like them? I don't have that quality. And I was telling Brandon, my husband, I said, maybe I should be more outgoing like Cammie. Or maybe I should wear button-up suits like Debbie. Or maybe I should, all of these things. And he goes, you know what, Denise, just be a good friend. Because that's what you do. And when I realized that I could do this business already being who I am, like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I didn't have to run to someone else and try to be more like Dr. Don, or run here and try to be, I had to just be strong in who I was. One time my mom said to me, she goes, so what do you do? And I was telling her, I said, well, I help people start a business and get over their fears and get, I help them launch and do their parties or train. I tell people about the products and see if they want to become a loyal customer or distributor. And I was telling her a little bit about what I do, and she goes, man, it sounds like you were made for this. Thanks, Mom. Like those were the little aha moments that I had that showed me that I didn't have to be anyone else. I just had to be my best self. Throughout these last 8 years, we've had life happen. Anyone? Anyone? No? Me? Am I the only one? Life just happened to me over the past 8 years. We've had 2 kids, we've moved, we've had relationship struggles, we've had, sleepless nights, we've had life. And so we had to decide who we were going to listen to. We had to decide, were we going to listen to life that was happening to us to let us sway and distract us from our mission, or were we going to stay true to ourselves and focused on our goals? So I want to share with you a quick story that mirrors our journey a little bit. And it happens to be about frogs. So there's this colony of frogs. And the frogs live in lily pad valley, and they're very content. They love their lily pads. They love all the flies. It's like filled with flies, and they just are very happy there. It's surrounded by mountains. So one day, this frog, who just is a little bit restless, he goes, you know what? I want to climb the mountain. No one's ever done it before. I want to climb this mountain. Why let's try it. So he goes to all of his frog friends and he said, will you climb the mountain with me? Will you climb the mountain with me? Will you climb the mountain with me? And some of them look at him like he has a third eye, and they go, why would you want to climb that mountain? Like, we're happy here. I just want to stay happy in my frog little valley. And then some people look at him and go, frogs aren't made to climb mountains. They're not made for that. They're made to like eat flies, not climb mountains. You'll never be able to do that. And then some people said, I've always wanted to do it. I've just been a little scared. Let's do it now. So he gathers a few frogs together that say yes. And they go to the base of the mountain and they start the ascent. Hop, hop, hop. Now remember, everybody that said no to him is still very interested. So they're all watching at the bottom. What's going to happen now? And they're watching these frogs hop up the mountain. Pretty soon, the frogs at the bottom start saying, it's too high. You're never going to make it. Why are you even trying? Just be down here with us. There's way more flies. How are you ever going to have the stamina to get up there? Be content here. Are you done yet? Are you going to give up yet? Are you really made for this? Can your legs do that? And so one by one, these frogs who are hopping start taking this external stuff and letting it seep into their souls, and they start to fall down. They start to fall down. Except for one. One frog, hop, hop, hop. He makes it to the top. So when he gets there, everyone goes, how'd you do it? What's your secret? You just got lucky. He comes back down and he stares in front of, or he stands there in front of the whole community, and he just stares at him. Because you know what? This frog was deaf. He didn't hear the naysayers. He didn't hear the negativity. He didn't hear people telling him what he could or could not do. The only voice he could listen to was himself. He knew, he kept his eyes on the summit. He knew what he wanted, why he wanted it, and he kept focusing forward. So my challenge to you guys today is to know who you are, to know that you can do it, and to keep your eyes focused on the summit. And man, just be like that deaf frog, because it's absolutely worth it. Thank you.
Love you.